So, Italian stewed tomatoes, and apparently sugar is an Italian spice because it's right up there.
There you go.
That I wouldn't recommend that brand because if you're trying to prevent the coronavirus, if you're trying to keep healthy and keep from getting some sort of deadly virus, then you stay away from sugar because sugar
It lowers your immune system.
lowers your immunity.
Yep.
So now we had tried to record and the camera fell down, so I'll try to remember what we were talking about. Oh, this brand of hummus is crap. And don't go out and buy lots of cans of food. If you're thinking, oh, how am I going to feed myself if I'm trapped in my house for 6 months? And it could be 6 months. It could be.
Could be worse.
So, I mean, we're listening to the CBC off and on when we're in the car, and there's a lot of yellows reporting a lot of nonsense. You know, it's really just propaganda. Yellows report propaganda.
That's what they all, and of course they're in their element right now.
Yeah. So it's just this virus is a marketing wet dream for a lot of people. And anyway, don't go out and buy canned food. It's you could buy big bags of chickpeas and some containers of tahini, or
you're gonna
buy
be
the
home,
sesame
like,
seeds, big bags of sesame
Do a
seeds.
lot of cooking.
Yeah, you're home anyway. Make good use of it. You can be ordering up some great courses from your local public library, or buy them if you have the money and you don't want to worry about maybe getting the virus sent to you in these great courses because
I
it's
wonder if
public.
you can get great courses on Netflix. Probably
You can
not.
get them. You can watch them streaming, just right off.
There you go.
Yeah. So you don't even need to order like the VHS
See?
or VHS, the DVD sets that we get in. I have got a VHS from a littler library. I got it shipped in, and the library people at my library were like, wow, I didn't know anybody had these anymore. And I was like, well, you know, it's fine because I still have a player, so
Yes, there we go.
whatever. I still have a beta in great
Awesome.
working order. Yeah.
Your dad got that? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Dad used it
Okay.
when betas went out of fashion, which was promptly. Dad would buy betas for like $1 a machine from garage sales, and so he had a whole little beta workshop going on, and he kept those things going for a long time. He'd just take them apart and put them back together.
No, he was good mechanically and stuff like that. But
Yeah. But anyway, you can make great use of your time at home. If you're stuck at home, if you're not sick. If you're sick, well, you just have to try to not die.
yeah.
But if you're at home and trying to keep from getting sick, then you can be doing lots of great courses, or there's a lot of free internet courses that you can do. You can do
Yeah,
them
if
right
you've got
from your home
internet
if you have
connection.
internet connection.
Yeah, we don't.
And if you are elderly, don't let anybody visit you.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Tell them, phone.
Phone.
Don't
That's
even
it.
send cards.
Yeah,
Because apparently this stuff lasts on cardboard for a while.
I bet it does.
I don't know. They were saying like on copper, was it multiple days? So fun times. And you know,
So
just
we'll be
until
playing a
recently,
little
they were
bit
saying
of-
it was just human to human contact. I'm saying to myself, it's spreading too actively for that. You know, you were skeptical about them saying.
Oh,
it
it's
wasn't in the air,
absolutely.
huh?
If it's any kind of a flu, you know it's not human to human contact. You know it's going to be going through the air.
Stupid.
Like it's anyway.
They're saying it's way more
ridiculous.
catchy than SARS was.
So
But it's taken
There's
them 2
all
months to
sorts
come
of-
out with this
all
garbage.
sorts of propaganda being spread, all sorts of lies about, oh, don't overreact, and we don't know how contagious it is, so don't overreact. And it's like, if you don't know, you err on the side of caution.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
don't
think that's-
underreact. That's what you don't do.
Yeah.
And
Like AIDS is around, so you know you don't want to overreact and use a condom. You know. Yeah. Be safe. You know.
Just
Gosh.
it's honestly how much do you value your life, your family's life?
Everyone's
Other
life.
people's
Take
life.
take
I mean,
responsibility for other people.
If you're feeling sick, stay home because and phone somebody at a hospital or something like that.
If you've got a cold, stay home. Don't take a chance.
Don't take a chance.
God.
So,
you see people out in public now, they're sniffling and snuffling. I'm looking around saying, I don't want to, there's some big log. Snap me in half. But I want everyone to just say, get home.
yeah.
People should be doing that right now. Get home.
Yeah. So anyway, what was I going to say? We were talking before the camera shut itself off. We were talking about, what was it? Toilet paper. How to try to put James's mind at ease, I bought a bunch of toilet paper. And now the stores are saying, my friend this morning, he told me that the stores, a lot of them are saying limit one per customer because they're getting bought out. And yesterday, somebody that I was talking to that does the ordering for a grocery store, she said that there's only one brand of toilet paper on their ordering list right now that they can get. So they're getting depleted. And anyway, what I was saying to the guy, like he was saying, you know, when they were young, they loved waiting for the Sears catalog because that was the best quality toilet paper. And I said, yeah, you know, I have a lot of books around, so I'll just start ripping out pages. And I know James wouldn't like to hear that, but I was using a Daphne du Maurier book as kindling, and James was really off put by that for starting my
Even
campfires.
Daphne du Maurier, yeah.
But I was like, who wants to read Daphne du Maurier?
Good question.
This is a, you know, it's really, it's like, it's almost like using a flyer from a grocery store for kindling. Really, it's not art. So anyway, but I'm not worried about getting toilet paper, and definitely don't get canned goods. Like, you can make way better hummus than that. That was the worst hummus I've ever had in my life from that can. That's
Let me
disgusting.
guess. This looks like I thought it was.
It's just gross. It doesn't even
I
have
think
any
they're from
flavor.
Lebanon, right?
Well,
Ours. They make a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but
Well, they say Toronto,
that's
but
bad. Anyway,
they see a product of Lebanon.
and I was saying that if you're thinking, well, you're going to go to your grocery store and stock up on Kraft Dinner and Alphagetti and you'll somehow be healthier. No. I mean, you may as well eat your toilet paper that you've just stocked up on like 10 years supply worth of toilet paper, because you want to be eating healthy foods. Like right now, James is eating some asparagus.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Get some potatoes and beets.
And
those last, don't they?
Yeah, beets, horseradish,
There we go.
turmeric root, ginger root. These things last quite a while. And make yourself, get a bunch of cabbage. Learn how to make kimchi and sauerkraut. This is a great learning opportunity for you. You can, while you're streaming your great courses at home on your internet, you can be making sauerkraut and kimchi.
Making yourself worthwhile.
And you'll come out of this stronger than ever. If you play your cards right, if you manage to stay home and away from sick people, then and you stay and you keep learning. If you're home learning, you can learn how to protect yourself from the next one. Learn how to not believe all of the propaganda that's going around.
Yeah.
So, I should say before the camera runs out or something, The Goldfinch is an excellent movie.
It's actually pretty good.
I really enjoyed it. I watched it a couple times because I fell asleep at some point, which I do a lot. I think my body is just making up for the fact that I had insomnia for so many years, and so now I just clunk out all the time.
Yeah. Is it like me when after you eat? Or?
No, I don't know when it is. It's just I need a siesta or two in the day.
No.
My body just falls asleep. I'll be sitting there and just clunk, and then I'll
all of a sudden you stop writing
lift my head
when you're
and clunk.
watching a great course, and I figure you've gone to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'll be writing, and mid-writing, I nod off. I don't know what it is. But anyway, James was going to update us on coronavirus. He learned a whole bunch of interesting things about
Here's
it.
the update. Beware of a guy whose stomach doesn't move when he laughs. I'm just disgusted. Disgusted with the whole world. Starts with China and then Iran, these dictatorships. I'm disgusted with the leaders of the democracies, so-called democracies, who are letting rich people gallivant around the world, spreading this around. Eventually, poor, deprived people are going to pay for their misdemeanors, if not crimes. They should be crimes.
Yeah,
People
really,
should not have been allowed to travel the world.
No.
Starting January the 1st.
Well, if you're found to be a patient zero and you've just been out vacationing around, I mean...
People should be liable to suits.
Yeah, honestly. Because then if you're responsible for deaths down the road, well, that's sort of manslaughter, isn't it? I mean, honestly.
Pretty close as far as I'm concerned. People got to go on their boat cruises and on their skiing vacations in northern Italy.
Anyway.
I don't know.
So
I mean, France was so brave. They're going, we're not going to close our borders with Italy. That's the leaders.
Yeah.
Next election, toss those turkeys out, France. Those of you that survive. Wow.
Well, anyway.
And you Americans. I'm checking Donald Trump's popularity, 42.3%. It kind of went down like 0.1 overnight. His support, percentage support, should be cratering the way the stock market is. When the stock market was going all wild and bubbly, effervescent, shall we say, when even before he was inaugurated, after he was elected, he was claiming all the credit. Now's the time for him to man up and take the discredit, because you guys down there in the United States, you've got a lousy healthcare system, and the big trouble is the most vulnerable are going to pay the most. What I actually wouldn't mind seeing is these bozos that are leading the nomination race as well. It's almost automatic. Trump is going to be nominated. They're all over 70. I'd like to see those guys, if anyone's going to die, I'd like to see, in the United States, I'd like to see those die. Even Biden, I mean, he's a bozo. It's preferable than the other two. Bernie Sanders, get lost. What a bozo. They're all over 70.
Well, anyway. What I was saying about the Trump thing is, like James was saying, well, his popularity should be cratering.
Yeah.
But I was saying he is pretty good at finding a way to twist the marketing his way.
Sure. So I was predicting, when was it, a couple of days back, that he'd be blaming Obamacare. I don't think he's specifically blaming Obamacare, but he's blaming Obama now. Yeah, that's all over the internet.
Which is interesting. Mm-hmm. But he could very well end up claiming that, well, it's the fault of the people who are coming in from outside and bringing in their sicknesses.
Looks lucky it didn't come in through
like
Mexico.
A war. It's or something. He could be claiming that sort of thing. That it's. And that could, he could then say, well, we need to shut our borders down. This is, nonsense. And once he goes that direction, I can't see why his popularity wouldn't go up, honestly. So you never know what's going to happen down the road, but you have to look at what has actually happened, and look at it honestly. Even though you have your own biases and whatever, I mean, you may believe that Russia was responsible for this thing and that they already had a vaccination and that's why they're not really suffering from it. Or
Maybe
you
have
might believe
dissidents that
that
didn't get the vaccination.
the United States is responsible, because a lot of people are saying that it
The
came
Chinese
from
are saying.
and
Oh,
you may
amazing.
believe that it actually did come from China and escaped from their
Bioterror.
research facility.
Let's call it the bioterror. So,
Yeah,
but
which is probably most likely, but it's as far as I can see, it could be anyone. Honestly, it could have come from any one of those or others. I mean, if you think about it, you can go out and buy a drone for yourself from Best Buy or whatever, and there could be people, I don't know who, but somebody could be working on bioterrorism
UPS
stuff
You can
in
buy
their
not
basement or
UPS. What is
something,
it?
for all
Staples.
I know.
You
Yeah.
can buy drones and Staples.
Yeah. So, and they could be dropping it wherever for, you don't know, right? It's, the fact of the matter is we know that we can expect that infectious diseases like this are going to keep coming out of China. From this point,
They've got all
anybody
sorts of
who
problems
doesn't
there.
think
Yeah.
that it'll happen again is really an idiot. So, if you're not in a position where you're protected, then it really is your own fault. You've let this happen.
You've been warned.
So if you're a government official and you haven't tightened down security to prevent against something like this coming into your country, and then you're not doing the job.
Yeah.
And
You look at the
people have to look at that honestly. They have to look at it and say, "Wait a minute. We have, like, right now. We're listening to the CBC every once in a while, and there's some guy talking about, oh, it looks like you're doing a great job, trying to control and I'm listening to this going, they were doing hardly anything.
Yeah.
So
Alberta tested 400 people in a day. Oh, yeah. How long will it take to test 3 or 4 million people at that rate? What is that, like 10,000 days or something like that? What is that, like? I don't think my math is wrong.
I don't know.
No.
But
10,000 days, which is 30 years. So
And-
that's good.
one thing that I can see from this is there's a lot of money to be made in letting this thing spread. So it is possible that this came from a capitalist origin, just so that it could then make money from, it could be whatever involved in
It'd have
that,
to be,
hazmat suits or
It'd have to be a
whatever.
special,
Do you see what I'm saying?
a special
come
sort of
from
thing.
that?
It's not the capitalists generally, because
No.
they're suffering right now.
Yes, but it could be some special, like something to do with the manufacturing of these goods that are going to keep people safe, or it could be. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's
I think
possible
it's a
that it
special-
came from that. So it may not even be like everyone's saying, oh, it's this government leader. Well, it could be just one capitalist organization that's involved with medical supplies, or specific type of medical supplies that are going to, honestly. So you got to keep your mind open to the possibilities and say, well, this could happen in the future. This will happen in the future. What has the response been? Are you looking at all the numbers of people in the maps that are just lighting up like Christmas? The maps are lighting up like Christmas. And know that other people are too.
Understand there are people taking notes. Whether or not this is a bioterror attack, I don't think it is. But there are people taking notes, and they're just licking their chops saying the response has been so inadequate. They're just going, because bioterror, like it's designed so the stuff spreads without symptoms and stuff like that. The first assumption should be, is it bioterror? Because like Pauline says, it could be any sort of actor, not necessarily a government actor. Someone could get hold of smallpox and it just get loose on the world, like a specially engineered one that would be hard to detect. Man, oh man, oh man. The response is just absolutely inadequate. It's been inadequate for just a regular type of pandemic sort of thing. This looks like the Spanish flu or something like that. But bioterror thing would just be hell on wheels, and it's just disgusting. You look at these idiots who are running the world, and it's not just Donald Trump. You look at Trudeau, and he's basically a high school drama teacher. Well, what the is going on here? You look at these stupid idiots who think that they've got a right to rule people. Stupid people. Yellows and reds, useless people.
Yeah, and these types, we think of them as being strong leaders, but they're actually incredibly weak because their egos are so high and they're way more confident than they actually have the right to be. They don't have the meat to hang that shit on. So they're not suitable leaders. Things have to change.
Toss them. Get rid of them if you can. If
people just elect another one until they learn, until they figure out that they're actually not strong people. They're weak people.
No.
I mean,
the Arabic for hummus is hummus.
All right.
So there you go.
Well, I think that's all we have for the update about Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tahini. Is this got tahini in it or something like that?
Hummus always does.
There we go. It says